When I'm gone, people always ask, what would you like said after you're gone? And I came up with something the other day. It was pretty simple. Here it is. Jim Rohn made a major contribution to someone. Jim Rohn made a major contribution to someone, and then another one, and another one, and another one. Wow. And that journey continues for me. So if you've got my name on your notes, which hopefully I'm sure you have, when we leave here, I go with you, these notes and all the experience that we've had. But I promise you this, as we leave here, I will not leave you behind. I'll take you with me in my thoughts and in my heart. Thank you very much.
I quote Jim Rohn every week as a speaker. I met Jim Rohn many years ago with a gentleman by the name of William E. Bailey, who wished he could be here. William Bailey had a company called Best Line Products. And he spoke in Columbus, Ohio at the Neal House Hotel. I was at another meeting, and I heard his voice coming through the room, and I came over to hear what was going on. And he introduced Jim. And the power of his words, when Jim finished speaking, I ran downstairs and called a friend named Robert Boyd and said, listen, I've got to get involved in this business. Because Jim spoke, I bought $7,200 worth of biodegradable soap. Because Jim spoke, I have some Ziff in my house right now. I had it, Tony, brought to the house and put in the living room. So when I came home, I'd have to step in and go around, stacked all the way to the ceiling, because he helped me to believe that I could live my dream. Because Jim spoke. And because he spoke, how people live their lives as a result of the story they believe about themselves. He interrupted the story that I believed about myself. And when he spoke, he empowered me to begin to become, as Mother Teresa would say, a pencil in the hand of God and start writing a new chapter in my life. When he spoke, I began to see the possibilities of not being where I was. He taught me that my history did not have to become my future. When he spoke, he was able to help me to begin to see that all of us have greatness within us. But greatness, it's a choice. It's not our destiny. Let us say together, live full, die empty. Jim taught us that things may happen to you and things may happen around you, but the only things that really count are the things that happen in you. Jim teaches us now that recessions restores resourcefulness. Jim speaks to us now daily as we are the embodiment of his message, and as we must take it into the future to continue the spirit and the legacy that the casket and the grave cannot hold, because he's here with us. And I'd like to leave this with you. I don't know what your goals are. I know what your dream is. Here's what I know. This man touched my life. Here's what I know. This guy that you now see, I did not know he existed. When he spoke, I died to who I was to give birth to who I'm still becoming. And something, when we were in Singapore, and I remember as I was getting ready to speak, he started taking notes. I said, Jim, don't take any notes. He said, why? I said, this is your stuff. So he loved for me to say this, and I dedicate this to you in his spirit and memory. If you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it. If all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it, and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold, poverty, famish, or gulf, sickness or pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want. If dogged and grim you besiege and beset it, with the help of God, you'll get it. This has been Mrs. Mamie Brown's Baby Boy and Jim Rohn's Pride and Joy. God bless you, God bless your dream, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
My first extravaganza was in June, I think, in Las Vegas, 2003. Was it June of 2000? And I had to get the family adjusted to me not being there on Sunday at home, because my family is my wife, and we try to give the kids a spiritual road. I'm not talking any religion, just a spiritual road. And Sundays, we're about being spiritual in our family. It's pretty sacrosanct. You know, you went and listened to somebody who tried to make you feel a little bit better about yourself and your place on earth, and hopefully get better internally. And then we usually would have a family day and then a big family dinner every Sunday night. And when we're together on Sundays, we follow the same path. And so when I said to Mary, well, I'm not going to be here, and we went through the schedule, and she said, boy, that's a lot of Sundays you're not going to be here. And I said, don't worry about it, we'll make up for it, and I'll spend a little extra time. And she was kind of more worried about the fact that we were breaking down a family tradition that had lived in both of our families a long time. And then on Sunday in Las Vegas, Jim Rohn came out, and he spoke. And I was sitting side stage listening to Jim, and I was so tremendously moved by the spirit that this guy is, by the human being that he is, by his words, his compassion, his leadership, his ability to touch on your mind and your soul. And many of those words that we heard from Mark may have been about integrity, but they were also about living a better life and being a better human being and living for the whole and creating opportunity around more than just the individual and bringing people in with a bigger heart. And so Jim was doing the same things, and he was on stage, and I was tremendously moved by Jim. Bought his books and his tapes, and have now become a very good friend of Jim's. I hope he feels the same way about me that I feel about him, because I see Jim as one of those kind of spiritual signposts in my life, someone to emulate and live up to. So Jim got done, and I couldn't help it. I jumped on the cell phone and called my wife, and I said, don't worry, honey. I said, I've been to church today. I've been to the church of Jim Rohn today. And so, and it worked.
And I can only tell you from my experience that it has been my greatest honor and privilege to not only have learned from the mentor, but to be a friend of the man, somebody who truly walked his talk and was the real thing, not an expensive imitation.